Hey everybody, how are you today? Sorry that I forgot to get the event up in the group. I've just been so incredibly busy lately with everything going on for the La La Land Crafts Retreat that I don't know where my head is lately. I'd probably lose it if it wasn't stuck to my head at the moment. So I was just getting set up there. And I'm going to go ahead and wait a couple minutes, see if anybody shows up. If nobody does, since I didn't put the event up, I totally understand. These are the colors that we're going to be using today. I did put them up above so that you could see. Hi, Evra. How are you, sweetheart? So we're going to be using a lot of the W's are going to be for her hat. The reds, of course, for her outfit. And the C's are going to be for her shoes. And of course, we have our skin colors. And then I've really been using a lot of the E40 through 43 for hair lately. And I really like that. So I thought I would show you that because I can't remember if I have or if I haven't. Let me put some light on the subject. It got really dark here all of a sudden. I have a feeling we have some dark clouds moving in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. But what I'm going to mainly show you is how to do the ruffles in her little shirt or dress, whichever you would prefer it. So I'm going to start out with just an E05. That way if I screw it up, I can hide it. Or, I mean, R05, not E05. My goodness gracious. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line right here, and I'm just mapping out where I want to go. So a line here, and a line to extend out by her hair. And then we'll put another one here, and this is going to be the center part of her outfit. And then we'll do another line right about here. Then I'm going to flip her around and I'm going to try and match up these lines by putting another one that's kind of curved. So I'm just going to curve it up and around on both sides. And then this one will match this one here. So I'm going to come up right here, and then this one will match here, so I'm going to go right about here and come up. So I have her little shirt mapped out. Now I'm going to map out her hat a little bit. So I want the dark to go here and here, and then we'll have a little bit come up this way. And we'll have some more dark come in right about here. And then of course, right where her hat's coming. And then for this one, I actually wanted to make it look as if the hat was kind of bending a little bit. So I went ahead and I put a little bit of some dark little like lines right here. So that's where I want my dark to go, and I'm not going to start with my darkest, which would be the R59, and then we have R29, 17, 05, and 46. Now I know I've told you in the past that the 9 is the darkest, but because of that 4, here, let me show you. Hey, Susan, how are you? So that's the 46, and here's the 29. So while the 29 has the 9 on the end, and it is more of a saturation, the 46 actually has more gray content in it. So this one is a little bit darker just because of the gray content. So I'm going to start out with my R46. So my R46, I'm not going to come down much further than what I did with the R05. And I'm just going to put where the pleats are going to be, and then I'm going to do a little bit underneath because we know that that's this white part here, the white fluffy part of her outfit. We're probably going to be, it's probably going to be over the top of the red part of her outfit. Hey Paula, how are you, sweetheart? So, and then I'm just going to get the little bit of the shadow that would be on the sleeves from her dress, because it looks like she's kind of holding her arms back a little bit. And we'll put a little bit where her hair is, because you know her hair is going to create a little bit of a shadow as well. So one thing that my daughter actually brought up, and I don't know if you guys will want to do it this way or not. If you don't, then that's okay. But my daughter says that her dress is too short, and she doesn't care if it's pajamas. It's too short. So for my daughter, I'm going to go ahead and give her some little red leggings. So I'm going to go ahead and use my R46 to put some shadow right here so that it will look like she's got some little red leggings on. But some of you might want to go ahead and just make that skin or whatever you decide you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and come up on these red lines. Not too much though, just a little bit. Yes, Meadow is she's a very modest little girl, especially at her age. So I'm very, very, very proud of that. She makes me very proud of her every time. Well, almost every time she opens her mouth. Sometimes she can say some pretty off-the-wall things. I'm like, what? What did you just say? She's pretty crazy. So, and I'm going to just round that up a little bit and bring that down to the little fluffy white ball. And then we'll have some darkness, some shadow from the white part of her hat. So we'll pull that out a little bit. So now I'm done with that color. So I'm going to go to R29. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. Just a little, not a whole lot, but a little bit. And I'm going to put some red right here. And this is going to come down the other way. Because like I said, that's the center little ruffle. And then we're going to put some color here. So I'm actually making it to where our shadow is coming this way. So by putting, or the sun's coming this way. So by putting the shadow here and the shadow on this side, there we have where the sun is not going to hit, okay? So now for the arms, we're going to pull that color out. We're going to pull that, rewind R46 out on both of the arms. And I'm using a little bit of a thicker stroke there because we have a bigger area to cover. There we go. Pull out her little pant legs here. Oh, I forgot. I have to do the bottom half of her little. So the bottom half, we're going to go on the inside of this one. Okay, just the inside. We're not going to go this side, just this side. Same with this one. We're not going to do the opposite side. We're just going to do the one side. And then this one, we're going to do this side. We're not going to do anything with the center. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Diane. How are you guys? Here we go. So just the one side. And then we'll go ahead and we will bring this red out a little bit more on her hat. And this, the bottom one, I'm actually going to go all the way across the top very carefully because I don't want that red leaking into the white part. Go ahead and pull it out on this side a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to go with my R17. I'm going to pull again, just pulling stuff out ever so slightly. The R17 you can pull out a little bit more since it's going to be one of our main colors. And now you can start putting a little bit into the center. Although the center is going to be more of the R05 than anything else. And that one I just filled in. We're going to start pulling the arms, the sleeves out. Normally I would have done the face or the hair and all that first, but the star of today is the outfit. So I really wanted to make sure that I got that in the video for you guys. So now I'm still just going on the one side and I'm kind of connecting the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to do a little bit on that side, but not much. So I'm going to go ahead and go up and connect all the way up to the hair. And as you can tell, I'm not being super careful. So I'm probably going to need to take a white gel pen to cover up some of this red when we're done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish that off. There we go. And I know it looks like a mess. Total mess, but that's okay. It'll look better in a few. Here we go. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and pull. Most of this hat is going to be R17. We're just going to have a little bit of highlight of the R05. So I'm going to go ahead and color in the rest of the R17. And it's okay if your lines and stuff get covered up because it's just going to go ahead and we're going to bring it back out with the R59. So that's quite all right. So now I'm going to go ahead. Hi, Marilyn. How are you? So let's see. R05. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this sleeve, and I'm going to blend the rest of the colors. Go ahead and finish this out. Blend those colors. Now she's starting to look pretty. We are doing okay. I've been sick, but it's just, you know, it's normal. It's part of my life. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it before, or if I've told you. I don't even know if I've told you, but I have cyclic vomiting syndrome, and so that really takes a toll on me if I have stress or if I eat the wrong things. And I've been under a lot of stress, so my body's been screaming at me, which is more than fine. It's normal. So, but other than that, the kids are doing great. They're doing awesome in school. They're actually getting all A's in school. And that's not just a mother's bias, because the computer system actually grades stuff for me. So I can't be the doting mother and say, oh, it's okay. Nope, which I probably wouldn't be that way anyway. So I'm just filling everything in with the R05, and then we're going to go back in and put our dark shadowing lines in again. So I'm going to use R59 now, and I'm just going to make, this is going to be thin, like thin, because look how dark that baby is. That is seriously dark. And let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. That way you guys can see what I'm doing, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some thin lines. Where all of the shadows should be. There we go. And that's what really, that contrast is really what is going to bring everything out and bring all of the shadows out. So flip her around, get the shadow right in here. There we go. And then we're going to put some shadow right here underneath the shirt. There we are. Hi, Linda. How are you, sweetheart? Oh, so you know what it's like, just, Marilyn, you know what it's like just dealing with it, because it's just there. Not a whole lot you can do, it's just there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my R29 and I'm going to pull this out just a little so we can really get those ruffles looking super fantastic. Here we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing with these ones, is I'm just going to pull that out so that those ruffles will really stand out nicely. Okay, and then I'm also going to go back with my R59 and I'm going to do the little lines on her hat. And I'm going to go all the way across. And go right here. And go down along the side. And then we're going to bring these two little lines back out again. And then I'm going to do the other side. There we go. And then she might have a little bit of a shadow here where her boots are. And then I'm going to go ahead and smooth that back out with my R29 again. In her pants, I might go ahead and go back with the 17, just because I don't like how it's not smoothing out very well. And I'm just doing little tiny flicks like this. And then maybe I'll go ahead and give this one another go. Smooth that out a little bit more. Just because I like smooth lines. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I like to have smooth lines. I'm not one for the really harsh lines. I like things to look smooth and just kind of fluid. Cast shadows, that's the word I'm thinking of. There we go. So there is her shirt, her hat, and her outfit, all in red. I'm going to give this a minute to dry a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and show you how I did the stars that are on her outfit. Let me try and zoom in a little bit more. So now I'm going to use the W's. I'm going to go ahead and do the fluffy parts of her outfit. and I'm going to use triple or 00, 1, 2, and 3 in the W's. So I'm going to start out with my 2, and I'm going to do some little random dots in the ball, and I'm going to do some little dots, and I'm making them small because these are going to be our darker dots, and I'm putting those where our shadows would kind of be. And then we're going to go around the side of her hat. And we'll go ahead and bring some out a little bit. And then this side of her hat. And again, it's just dots. And then I'm going to do the insides of the cuffs of her shoes or slippers, whatever they may be. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my W1. And again, just random dots, but they're going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, they're not going to be as small. And I'm going to just kind of fill in the area where the 2 was. And just fill this in and kind of bring it out just slightly. And again, down with her shoes. Stars. They're not real. I don't know if they're really stars, Jackie. They're more like, they're just little, I don't know, little line things. I don't know. I just call them stars. So W is 00. Oh, and I got red on my pen. That's okay. It'll come out, hopefully. But that's why I say don't do your reds first, because working with reds can be a pain in the booty. But I wanted to make sure I got those ruffles done for you. But I will cover that red up with no problem at all. And I'm just going over the whole thing with really big dots with my 00. I'm magic? I wish if I was magic, we wouldn't have these stomach problems. So here we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my, whoops, wrong end, my W3. Hey, Kim, how are you, sweetheart? And I'm just going to put some random, like right on that red. That is totally not random, but I'm covering up the red. Just some small little dots, which kind of bring that fluff in. Here we go. Hey, Jessica. There we go. So just bringing in that fluff, and that it's so crazy how, like, if you do black and you use a if you use a black and you put white dots, like from white, like a white gel pen, like I just did with this W3, it makes all the difference in the world. It just, for some reason, those extra dots make it look extra, like really super fluffy. I'm not exactly sure why, but it does. So I'm going to go ahead and put these aside. And I want to make sure I get these stars. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab just a white gel pen. You can also do silver or gold gel pen, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use white though. And this is a 0.05. So it's a really small point. And all I did was I drew a little dot. Let me zoom this in even more. Let me see how far I can get this thing in. Yeah, that should be enough, hopefully. So I drew a little dot, and I just did random dots in different places. Okay, so after you draw a couple of dots, all I did, and this is going to sound crazy, but I just did like a little flicking motion on either side. And then I did it again on this side to this side, a little bit to where they're a little bit longer. And then I did little short flicks in the opposite corners. I just made 2 X's. So I just made long and long. This is being a turkey. Here we go. And short. So, and we always want to go off, you know, in the corner and do like a little partial of one. That way it really looks like we're following the pattern. And then just to fill in some spaces, because I didn't want to cover it in dots and stuff, I went ahead and put, or more stars, I went ahead and put in some more dots. So like right here, I'm going to put another like little half star. And then I'm just going to put dots on her pants, some little polka dots. I love me some polka dots. I am definitely a polka dot girl. And these are just random. I'm not following any sort of pattern. I'm just like, ooh, there's an open spot. And I'm just sticking a dot in there. Just because it's fun. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put a star here. So flick and a long flick. And these aren't perfect. I'm not trying to make them perfect. I'm just sticking them wherever. And even my lines aren't perfect. Put a dot there, and then we'll put some like little lines right here so it looks like there's a star. Maybe some lines here. And then we'll go ahead and put a dot here. There we go. If I don't have that, yeah, I actually really like this Mona. So I'm really happy that I have her for Christmas because she's so cute. I love her. And she's really, once you get the ruffles down, if you want to do the ruffles, she's really kind of quick and easy to color. Put a little half one there. Put a little dot. So there's our little stars. So here's her without pants, and then here's her with pants. I don't know if you guys can see her since I zoomed all in like this, but so with and without pants. I think Meadow will be very happy that I stuck some pants on her. So now I'm going to go ahead and do her hair. Nope, you guys can't see her. So I'm going to go ahead and do her hair. We're going to use E41, E40, E42, E43, maybe E44, but more than likely not. So I'm going to start out with E42. Now, I've seen people color her a couple of different ways. So I've seen her colored with just this, as if she has a bun up in her hat. But I'm actually going to color her hair in the back as well. So I'm going to color her little bang pieces. But I'm also going to be coloring her hair back here. That way it looks like she's got her hair down instead of up. And she's got some red, I've got some red on here, but again, I can cover that up with hopefully a darker color. And if not, that's okay. I'm not worried about it. It just shows that it was handmade. And everybody knows I'm about handmade. So now I'm going to use my E41. I hope y'all can actually see the marker cap so you know what I'm using. Although it's in my way. So use a little bit of E41. Bring that E42 out. There we go. And flip her around. There we are. See, I really like this color. I don't know what it is, but lately I'm all about the E40s with hair. So now I'm going to use my E43. Let's see if I can't cover this red up. Sorta. Good enough for me. So let's see, do the tips of her hair. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do this, but I'm going to make sure that I do this a little bit darker because the way her hair comes around, you know it's going to be darker back in there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my E44. And I'm just going to do like a touch of E44 in the back. That way it's darker than the rest of her hair. But I'm still doing the thin little flicks. I'm going to put a little bit here. And just a little at the end, at the tops. But I'm going to go ahead and go back with my E42 and pull all that out a little bit. That way it'll kind of calm it down. I'm not going to do the back, I'm just doing the front. That's it. Okay, so there's her hair. And I'm actually going to use my my colorless blender really fast because I got some on her cheek and I don't want that messing up my skin. So I'm just going to clean that up real fast. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do her shoes really fast, and I've got my C's out for that. But I don't think it's going to take all the C's that I picked, because there's not that much there to her shoes. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Marilyn. So I'm actually going to map out her shoes with my C1. And I'm going to have some dark here. But I'm actually going to make it to where she's got a little bit of a curve, like where your toes are at. Right here. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to use my darkest, which is the 8. I'm going to go ahead and just use my 7. So C7, and I'm just using, I'm doing like teeny tiny little strokes, except for that one. But right here, like underneath the boot, where it's where the little fuzzy parts are, that's where I'm making sure that I don't go crazy with the 7. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the 5, only because my 6 is gunky and I gotta fix it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my C5. And I'm just bringing that 7 out. And I'm going to put a little bit of a line there. And now I'm going to go for the 4. And that's going to be pretty much most of the rest of her shoe. Except I'm going to leave a little bit on her toe, because I want that to be kind of shiny. And remember, we still have to go back with our 8, so these are not even close to being done. So now I'm going to go in with my with my 2. And I'm just going to finish this out. Now I'm going to go in with my 8. Yeah, they could just be socks too. Black and white to add to the fluff if time permits. Oh, yeah, I can. So let's see. Go all the way around. We're going to get right here. Go up. There we go. There's the 8. Now I'm going to go back with my 5 and pull that 8 out. Oops, I'm sorry. I keep going out of camera, don't I? So sorry. But I'm just kind of going around where I did the last time. And now I'm just going to go back over it again with my 2. And that'll pull a lot of that together. Give it a little bit of a grayish color. Now, if you really wanted it to look like black, I'm going to go over it with my 2, or my 4, sorry, my 4. And that'll really bring that black in. And you could even go even darker than that if you want to. Let's see, where's my 5? So that's the 4. And here's the 5. Five tends to get really super black, but if it, or dark, but if it gets too dark on you, remember you've got your 8. And you can always go back in with your 8. If it gets too dark. And then this is also where I just take my white pen, because that's the easiest on small, tiny little things. And I'm going to make just a little bit of a shine for her shoes. Hi Terry, how are you? So now for her skin. So I'm going to start out with my E11. And these might be a little bit juicy on me, so, because I just changed the nibs and everything. I'm going to go up on her nose a bit, and I'm going to go underneath her little lip. And then here's this part. She doesn't have a whole lot of skin if you make her legs into pants. She doesn't have a whole lot of skin showing there. So Meadow would be happy. Oops, and I just went out of the line. But, you know, I'm in a fussy cutter, so I'm not worried about it. Thank you so much, Terry. I'm glad you're doing okay. Let's see, get the EO4 in there. Now the EO4, remember, it's only for cast shadows. So we're going to put a little there, because this is all going to be cast shadow because of her hair, right? So we got to get that in there. And then this is going to be cast shadow because of her shirt. And then we'll have some here for her sleeve. Now I'm going to go back to my 11 and smooth out that EO4. There we go. Smooth it out around her hands. Now I'm going to go to my E21. And she has a really tiny face. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do small little flicks. And I didn't go on her hands because her hands are so very tiny that I know it's not going to take much and they're going to be done. So now I'm going in with the R20 for her little cheekies. And then R30 to kind of blend that out a little bit. Let's see, Jackie, you're wanting to know if I change out my skin tone nibs all the time. Seems like I feel like one or the other are dirty and contaminate all of them. Yes, I do. Actually, when I change, I know not everybody can do it or wants to do it, but it doesn't matter what color I'm using. I always change my nibs out whenever I have to like really refill my markers, because then I feel like I'm getting the truest color possible. Because once you refill your marker and then refill and refill and refill, and you don't change your nib, you're actually just adding more and more and more color and more saturation to your nib. And so when that happens, the next time you change out one of your nibs, look at the color that the nib is compared to the color of the rest of it, and it'll show you how much darker this part of your nib is compared to this part. And you will see a huge difference probably. So now this is my E00. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in her chest area. And I'm going to fill in her hands. And then I'm going to use the E000 for the rest of her face. And she's looking, I don't know why, but she's looking a little over blended. So I'm going to leave her face where it is, and I'm going to work on her face a little bit later. Like I said, my markers might be a little juicy, so they might not be incredibly happy with blending right now. So I'm going to go ahead. Jackie, you asked, let me see what time it is. Oh yeah, we've got time. So Jackie, you asked about the black, like doing the dots with the white. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now with this one. I'll go ahead and give her black fuzzy instead of white fuzzy. So I'm going to use C4, C8, C5, C7, and a little bit of C2. Okay, I might not use the 8. I might just go with the 7. So I'm going to start with C5. And I'm just doing some random tiny dots because this is going to be one of our darkest colors. And they're just going to be tiny. Remember, the darkest color, you want the tiny dots. And then I'm going to do the C4. And these are bigger dots. And I'm going back in to fill in the other spots in the 5. And then I'm going to go with my C2. And these are going to be even bigger dots. The lighter we get, the thicker, bigger the dot gets. Okay, so almost done with this. And now I'm going to go in with my C7. And I'm going to go ahead and put some darker dots. And then, hi Mara Jean, how are you? And then I'm going to go in with a white gel pen. Let me get this thing. There we go. And I'm just going to add some white dots. So it just really kind of brings some of that fluffy in, having the white dots or the darker dots. So let me zoom back out a little bit. Oops, I think that went in. Nope, it went out. Okay, I went the right way. Yay, I went the right way. So with this one, you could even go, let me see, where's my, this is a W7. And you could even just do like a few little dots. And it just really makes that fluffy really come to life. Okay. And there she is. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I like the black and white fur too. This week the La La Land Crafts team is doing a theme for projects that is naughty or nice. So she could be naughty and she could be nice. Hi, Susan. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope doing the ruffles really helped out, and the fur. And let's see, Tuesday, I don't know what Marina's working on for Saturday, but she will be here with you Saturday. But Tuesday, we're going to be doing cupcakes. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing glass, finally, glass. So, so we'll be doing those on the next couple of Tuesdays. And I will make sure to make the event this next time. I'm so sorry I didn't do it this time. I've been so busy that it slipped my mind completely. I apologize. So I hope you guys had a good afternoon with me. I'm so happy to see all of you. You guys really make my day. So thank you so much. I love you guys. And I will see you, well, some of you I will see Friday for the retreat. And some of you I will see on Tuesday. So either way, I will see you guys in a few days. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.